Welcome to Bogota.
Yeah, we are back in civilization after being in the Amazon rainforest for a few days, and we took the boat from Puerto Nariño over to Leticia, where we were finally reunited with Craig's suitcase. But not for very long, because then we had to jump back on a flight a couple hours later and hand his suitcase back to the airline so we could get here to Bogota. Thankfully, it came with us this time.
Luckily it did show up at baggage reclaim in Bogota airport.
Yeah, so that was a pretty long travel day, but we're thankful to be here now, and we spent this morning catching up and doing a bit of work, and we're now going to go explore Bogota and see what it has to offer. We've only got like one and not even half a day to see it, but we're going to go check out a park first of all today and then hit it hard tomorrow and go and see what the city has to offer.
Yeah, we're going to go and try some food. We've been through Bogota 3 times now. The first 2 times it was just completely soaking and rainy, and we've got some beautiful weather today.
Yeah.
So we've lucked out.
Yeah, Bogota's got a very different climate to the jungle, obviously. So we've got like long sleeves on, but it's a good thing. Stops us scratching the mosquito bites that we picked up in the Amazon.
Feeling so itchy. But we're in the Uber now and we're heading to our first stop.
Let's go.
Mucho gusto. Jumped out of the taxi and immediately found this Mercado place, so we're going to head in there and see what restaurants they've got available.
Our first stop is food, of course. So we are right in Parque 93 now. We've even got a view from where we're sitting, overlooking the main square and all the grass area and the trees. Really nice. The sun is still shining, which is amazing. And we found this really nice little restaurant called Asian Kitchen. And after smelling the lemongrass when we were in the Amazon yesterday and the day before, lost track of time, I really fancied some Asian food. So yeah, and so did Craig. So we've come in here. There's loads of like restaurants in one place. That happens a lot in Colombia. We found there's a cool place. It's like a big building with multiple restaurants to choose from, which is really useful because I'm vegetarian and Craig's not, so it's really handy. But yeah, the menu in this place in Asian Kitchen is huge. So it took us a long time to decide, and it's already 3 o'clock, so we're gonna have to eat quickly so we can have a little wander around afterwards. But yeah, it smells so good here, so excited. We're sitting outside on the terrace, which is so nice. Actually kind of feels like we're still in the jungle. But in Puerto Nariño, the food was okay for a couple of days, but we didn't eat loads, so we are pretty depleted and hungry and excited to be back in civilization with loads of food options. Can't believe how much Japanese and Asian food there is in Colombia, but yeah, we have obviously tried loads of Colombian food. We've also eaten a lot of Asian food since we've been here. But yeah, this is our final days and video in Colombia before we head to a new country. So yeah, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe so you can see where we head off to next, because we've got so much more fun happening. Can't wait. This continent is awesome. The food has arrived and it looks amazing. So we've got some edamame beans because we're a bit addicted to those. We've got those to share. They taste amazing. Already had those. And I have gone for a lemongrass and vegetable rice dish, which has got a little avocado. Told you I was craving some lemongrass after that. I couldn't resist. And it smells incredible. I'm so excited to try it. I hope I can taste the lemongrass. I'm not using chopsticks because I'm not that sophisticated. That's perfect. That's so nice. They are so good at doing Asian food over here. Really good.
And I've gone for a tandoori biryani. It smells amazing. This food is so good. Some tomato. It's so good. It's just so good to taste something full of flavour after being in the Amazon for a few days. There wasn't a lot of flavour, I've got to admit.
So we have just taken a quick walk around Parque 93 and decided to come and get another little rest and some more food and drink. So we just saw this lovely place. As you can see around me, there's loads of plants everywhere. It's called La Mata Cafe, and you can actually buy plants here as well. And they do really cool, quirky menu here. They have like breakfast and lunch and snacks. So we've come for like a coffee and cake break, although it's now late in the afternoon. So we've actually gone for hot chocolate. And just like when we were in Palma in Spain, they had like naturally infused coffees that were like bright pink and bright blue. We've gone for a bright pink hot chocolate, and Craig's got a bright green hot chocolate. Mine is apparently made with beetroot to make it pink, and Craig's is made with drumstick tree, which is like moringa. We've seen loads of nice places walking around Parque 93, loads of restaurants. We could just keep walking around and eating basically. Yeah, look at all the cool plants behind me. It's really cool. Craig and Kirsty, a couple who have been on the road for the past 3 years sharing our adventures around the world. Right now we're making our way through South America and exploring everything it has to offer. If you enjoy seeing new places and real experiences, please subscribe and welcome to the adventures of Tide Knot Travellers. Safe to say, the clear sunny skies of yesterday are long gone. We have got proper Bogota weather today.
Yeah, we've been Bogota'd all over. Yesterday when we were planning all these things that we were going to do today, I was looking at yesterday's weather, looking around thinking,
so nice.
Yeah, wonder what's going to happen.
So yeah, we're going to get wet today. We're currently sheltering under here, made it to the Telerifico entrance. There's a big line, but they're all lining in the rain. We've got no choice but to go get in it.
Yeah, so behind us is Telerifico Monserrate. You can either get the gondola up to the top of the mountain there, or there's also a funicular. I think the funicular is slightly more traditional, so it's busier, and it only runs, I think, until about 11:45, whereas the gondola runs all day, until about 6 p.m, I think.
Yeah, actually opens at 6:30 in the morning. We're kind of wishing we got here earlier, but we are shattered because we've just got to come back from the Amazon and we're like, we just need a little bit more sleep. It's 10 a.m. now. So we're just going to have to bite the bullet and
suck it up.
Yeah, get in line. We've also got a tour later to do at 2 o'clock, so we need to get on with it. Let's go get in the rain.
It's nice having dry feet for 5 minutes. But yeah, let's head up and see the views. Oh wow, and there's a llama.
There's a llama next to us, just walked up, turn the camera.
In the middle of Bogota.
Hola, llama. This little guy's not scared of the llama.
Llama versus pug. That is not something I expected to see today in Bogota.
It's the only way. It's the only way.
Just buying ourselves some ponchos.
Even though we've got our own rain jackets, we didn't bring them out with us, obviously, because we're silly. Can't believe we've gone this far without having a poncho yet, to be honest. So, you know, we've done well. Money well spent. 10,000 Colombian pesos for 2. Bargain. Muchas gracias. Doesn't want the money. Muchas gracias. That goes against every street seller here in Colombia that I've ever met. They usually snatch it quick. So we are going to take the gondola up and down. It's 23,500 pesos per person, and yeah, let's do this. When there's no sunshine, you have to be the sunshine. Bring the sun.
On a grey day, I can't even find my way in.
They're really complex. You need instructions.
Wow.
This is really funny.
You need a degree to get into this.
This is so funny. There you go, there's the hood. Here's the hood.
Here we are, here we go.
Ah, there you go. You are my sunshine.
I'm in. Haven't worn one of these since like...
I don't know the last time we wore one.
Disney World?
Ah, nice, nice. So after about 45 minutes of lining up, snaking our way through, we've come outside. It's really tropical. It's still raining a little bit, but it does feel brighter, so that's nice. Look how nice it looks. And we're literally going to get on the Telerifico right here. I think this is the steepest one I've ever been on. It's insane how steep that looks.
See the zip line? Wow, it's definitely worth coming to the top of the Telerifico to see these views out across Bogota.
Yeah, it's a pretty crowded, busy affair, but now we've come up here, everyone's spread out a bit, so yeah, it's nice. Took us a while to get here.
Yeah, it's not like an ongoing cable car with lots of cars.
Oh, I wish it was.
It's just 2 alternating gondolas, so while one's at the top, the other one's at the bottom, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cram in, but it's super quick because it's so steep. It's like shoom, straight up.
And the views are amazing. They just get better and better as you go up. And look at this, you can literally see out across the whole of Bogota.
Yeah, it is a big city and we've only got a day and a half to see it. So this is probably the easiest way to see it all. There you go, did it all.
It is seriously vast though. I think Bogota is like the 6th or 7th largest city in South America.
We've seen some big cities in this continent. There's a little church up here that we're going to go and check out. I feel like there's a ceremony going on or something because there's some music playing.
It is a really pretty building and you've got some epic flags flying up here as well. And you can see the other side of the mountain as well, like the misty clouds going over the hills and the forest.
Really cool.
Really
Kind of looks
cool.
like the coffee plantation in Medellin. It's like a completely different view, that side to that side.
Yeah.
Nature and mystical cloud versus
Urban
jungle that side. There's definitely a service going on right now. Oh wow. It's not just restaurants and cafes, there's like a full market area as well. Such a nice vibe up here, like with the singing, the ceremony going on. Very South American. Wow, you could spend hours up here.
¿Van a comer camarada, muchachos? Bienvenidos, ¿cómo están? Mojarra frita.
Oh, that bit was pretty hectic, trying to get through there. Everyone wants to drag you into their restaurants. It's all traditional food. They've got like paisa, which we've already had that in Medellin. Craig's ordered himself a little chicken soup, which we're going to grab on the way back. But we are just trying to see everything quickly because we need to get back down and hopefully make it in time for our tour. Otherwise we'll just be wandering around the city by ourselves. It's very touristy up here, but they're so friendly though. They were like, nice to be in Colombia. It's really nice.
Yeah, I was just having a little game of British Bulldog with one of the ladies because
They
like
stopped you.
she went in the middle, Kirsty went one way and I went the other and it was like,
Stop and talk to
Bulldog.
me, buy my food, here's my restaurant.
We've come to the end and there's not too much more to see along here, to be honest. It's fenced off at the end. You've got a few more obstructed views of Bogota and also of the surrounding mountains. But yeah, we're going to head back. I'm going to have some food.
I kind of like it this side, it's a bit more rugged and natural and you can just kind of sit here and enjoy the nature and not have all the people around.
After you've made it through the
Peaceful.
gauntlet.
Yeah, exactly. It's the calm after the storm.
Ajiaco santafereño, es la sopa típica de Bogotá. Deliciosa.
Perfect, gracias. Muchas gracias.
Enjoy.
So we've just stopped off in one of these little restaurants. Like I said, we're running this gauntlet and I've got some traditional Colombian, it's like a soup with some sweet corn and some chicken. And apparently it's called ajiaco santafereña. And I checked that a few times with our friend over here and he gave me the thumbs up, so I'm going with that. But yeah, it's actually really nice in these little restaurants. There's lots to choose from and you've got the inland view with the forests and the cloud. It's really beautiful. Right, that was very tasty, but now we've got less than an hour to get back down and get over to Candelaria.
Yeah. Time to get back down.
Our Uber's arrived, time to head over to La Candelaria. It's just started raining again. Pardon?
Thankfully, we made it just in time to do our tour this afternoon, and it's another free walking tour. Don't have the best previous experience of that in South America. We managed to miss one completely, and the other one we got lost on. But here we are again. We found our tour guide. It's really busy. We just met them outside the Museo del Oro. Started raining, so back in our purple and yellow minion outfits. But yeah, let's go. Let's go see La Candelaria.
Let the tour commence.
So we met with our tour guide right outside the Gold Museum, which I'll explain why that place is so important in a second. So we're in Santander Square right now, and it's named this because of the statue that you can see behind me. So that's Santander, and he was the co-liberator alongside Simon Bolivar, Simon Bolivar liberated about 6 different countries in South America when they were colonized by Spain. So he was like the co-liberator here in Colombia. so that's why he gets a statue here. But the reason that the Gold Museum is a really good place to visit and so fascinating is because Colombia didn't actually produce that much gold, but they had a lot of gold here in Colombia. And the reason they had so much gold is because back in the day, like 1500s, they had a lot of salt. And in those days, a kilogram of salt was worth the same amount as a kilogram of gold, which is insane by today's standards. But yeah, so the Spanish word for salt is sal, and they used to give their salt or sal over to buy the gold. And this is where the word salary comes from, because they would give them the sal or the salary. So yeah, pretty fascinating. And of course, one of the first things that the Spanish did when they did come over and colonize was to bring Catholicism with them. So they built lots of churches. There's some really fascinating old churches and buildings here that the Spanish built, although we're told that the Spanish didn't build them. The Spanish brutally enslaved the indigenous and made them build them, of course, as is often the case in these scenarios, and made everyone convert to Catholicism and made examples of anyone who was powerful or who went against the idea of capitalism by tearing them apart and killing them brutally right here in this square. So actually, interestingly, the three colours that you see in the Colombian flag, the yellow, the blue and the red. The yellow represents the gold and like the wealth and the minerals. The blue represents the two oceans, the Pacific and the Atlantic. And the red, unfortunately, is, as you're probably guessing, represents the blood and the torture that they went through. So yeah, interestingly, that's why the flag is the colour that it is. And I just thought it was a colourful flag, but yeah, interesting, right? So before the Spanish came here and kind of forced everyone to be a Catholic, the religion of Colombia naturally was actually kind of no religion, but their religion was just to be in balance with nature. So they actually saw gold really differently to how we see it today. They saw it as a gift to give back to nature, to sort of thank nature. So how they used to just do ceremonies back in the day, there's a really famous lake 2.5 hours outside of the city here. Huge, beautiful lake, and it's full of gold. Of course, people have tried to get there and get the gold out. So the reason there is so much gold and a famous gold museum here is because back before Colombia was converted to Catholicism by the Spanish taking over, they had their own kind of religion, which was just to be in balance with nature, and they were very thankful to nature, and they believed that by taking gold and giving it back to nature, that was thanking nature and thanking them for the minerals and everything that's been given to them. So they would have these rituals where the leaders, which just happened for over 200 years, the leaders would go out to this huge lake that's about 2.5 hours outside of the city. It's a huge crater lake and it's really, really deep. So whenever a new leader was inaugurated, they would go out to this lake and he would go on a raft full of gold, and when the sun came up, they would thank the sun by throwing the gold into this really deep crater lake. As well as this, people would come and celebrate and offer their own gold and drop it on the sides of the lake. Of course, when the Spanish came and saw this ritual, they were like, this is crazy, they're throwing gold away. And you know, in Europe we know how wealthy gold is and how important it is. So they stuck around and of course battled and won, as we all know, and colonized most of South America, which is why they all speak Spanish. And they tried to get this water out of the lake using buckets, trying to drain a lake with buckets so they could get to the gold. Of course, they weren't very successful. They got some of the gold out, but even still today, there is a lot of gold in that lake. But it's forbidden to dive in there because people kept trying and kept dying because it's a really long way down. It's a crater lake. They dug a channel into the crater and drained the lake. This did drain it quite a bit, and this is how they got a hold of some of the gold, but there is still so much down there today, especially like they found this stuff around the edges, of course, where the people had dropped it in. But as we know, for over 200 years, the inaugurated leaders were chucking huge amounts into the center. So divers have tried to go down there over the years and tried to get this gold, because you imagine it's going to be like a pyramid of gold, but they've now been banned because so many people died trying to go too deep to get this. So all the gold that they did manage to get is in this museum behind me, apparently. But unfortunately, as you know, we don't have time to go there because we are out of here later on today. So now on our tour, we're standing in a really important cross-section here in Bogota, where they actually say they've got 4 pillars here on each corner. So behind me, you've got the most important newspaper in Colombia, and then to my right, you've got the most important bank in Colombia, and then over there, you've got the famous cathedral, which was built in the 15th century, and then on the 4th pillar, you've got McDonald's. So yeah, that one slightly lets us slide down a bit, but you know, got to hit McDonald's in every city. So yeah, interestingly, this is the cross section where trams used to be running along here, but during the protest, the 3-day protest that happened as a result of the socialist politician that got killed by the incumbent government at the time in 1948. Unfortunately, the protest went on for 3 days and 3,000 people were killed, and in that protest many buildings were destroyed, so everything here is not what was here 70 years ago. It's really a shame because I love a tram, but yeah, the tram system got destroyed within it as well. But it's cool, you can kind of see the old tram lines running around. This is a pretty important spot to see when you get to Bogota.
Good clarity.
On the end is good clarity.
Yeah, the last one.
In the middle to a darker green.
Yeah, you see the difference in color? There you go. They don't have good clarity, but good color. 100,000.
Caballito bonito.
We've just come up to La Concordia Mercado and we're going to try a traditional Colombian alcoholic drink called chicha. You can see here there's a place called the Chicheria and there's loads of other trade stalls in here as well in this big mercado. It's a really cool place.
Our indigenous people have been using totumas throughout the ages for many uses. Small totumas like this one you can use as a drinking cup. Bigger totumas you can use as a dish or a bowl, an excavating tool. And do you know, for example, salsa music?
Yeah.
You know maracas? They are made with totumas. All right? Today we're gonna use it for drinking. Okay. Now, the first thing that our indigenous people would do before eating or drinking is give thanks to Mother Earth first. Raise it to the sun, and together we are going to say Gracias Pachamama. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Gracias Pachamama. And then drink it.
How is your chicha?
It's really nice.
Not bad.
It's like fizzy.
It's quite thick and frothy, isn't it?
It's really nice, but it's got a weird aftertaste, but it's kind of sweet and then it's got like a
Yeah, exactly. Some people compare it to
earthy
kombucha.
undertone afterwards. It's really
How do you
weird.
find it? Good?
That is unique.
Yes.
I've never drank anything like
Yes,
chicha before.
Good?
Very nice, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
Very good.
Gracias.
So we just got to try a bit of chicha and these cool little cups that are made out of fruit cups and we get to keep them as well. It was really interesting. Our tour guide just told us that chicha was actually nearly disappeared from the culture completely because in 1908 the government here in Colombia tried to put people off of drinking chicha. Basically because they couldn't tax them. People could make it themselves. It was like an artisanal drink here in Colombia, part of their history and their culture. The government didn't like everyone drinking it all the time because they couldn't make any money off of it. So they started making really like extreme propaganda posters and putting them all over the place and basically almost wiped out chicha, telling them that it was gonna like rot their brains and you're better off to give them beer because they could tax on that, of course. And yeah, and then it disappeared. And then in 1948 there was a riot because there was a socialist who almost got into power. And it's believed that the government that were in place killed him off just because he was about to come into power. And he was for the people and the people loved him. As a result of him being killed right there in the cross-section square that we stood in earlier, there was huge riots there and it completely got like destroyed across 3 days. 3,000 people were killed and the government blamed chicha. So nothing to do with the fact that, you know, they had killed their beloved politician that was about to come into power and he was for the people who loved him, which is the reason that caused the protests. They tried to blame chicha. So for more than 40 years the government were trying to get chicha removed from Colombia and it almost worked. But they are really proud to say that no, you've still got La Chicheria everywhere you go. So yeah, it's pretty nice. It's different to beer, completely different, but it'll still get you drunk.
It's crazy, there was this huge campaign and the government made posters and stuck them up all around town. There was even this poster of a man feeding his baby with a tankard of beer and the message of the poster was to say that even beer has more health benefits to your baby than chicha. It's crazy. He showed us like 7 or 8 different posters that were made and stuck up around Bogota.
Things they'll do to make money.
Crazy.
But yeah, now we're going to take a little walk around the Mercado here. Just bought myself a banana, supporting the locals here. And yeah, check the place out. I'm now wearing my chicha cup.
We're about to walk along Calle del Emburo, which is like a really old cobblestone street that's full of like culture and tradition and artwork. It looks so cool so far.
Lots of chicharias, and if you wear your cup like this, apparently you can get some little tasters. So they have all different flavoured food, and they have all different flavoured fruits. Give me a break.
Kirsty can't talk now, she hasn't had lunch.
No, one
she's had some chicha.
Yeah, they have all different flavours of chicha, so they have like different coloured bottles, and apparently you can try them, so we've all stuck them around our necks so we can have a little taste of it. This is so cool, this street.
And the name of the street basically means that it gets narrower and narrower as you go along. And definitely feeling that. It's a busy little street.
This is so cool.
So colourful. Got lights going across the top as well, from rooftop to rooftop.
Gets crowded though.
Yeah.
We've just made it to the centre of La Candelaria, which is the oldest area here in Bogota. It's actually where it started. So apparently when they came here, they made 12 houses to represent the 12 apostles. And then behind me, what you can see is like a structure that has 12 holes to represent those houses. Also, at the top of it, you can see there is a man riding a unicycle of some sort. Apparently there's an artist that placed 33 statues like that all around La Candelaria, and they represent the everyday person. I think that's pretty cool, so we're going to try and spot a few of them. I doubt we'll find all 33, but there's like shoe shiners, circus performers, and just the kind of things you see on the street here in La Candelaria. It's really cool. And this is like the main hub where everything happens here. Lots of chicharias and lots of shows. Anything that happens in La Candelaria is right here in this main square. It's really nice. In Bogota, they have aromatica tea, which is basically a fruity infused tea, and then they add alcohol to it. You can get them anywhere. So also you can have it without alcohol, and you can have like sugar, honey, lemon. It's pretty nice, but I think like rum and gin is the favourite.
I've got an exotic fruit called mangostino. Kind of looks like garlic. It's supposed to be very nice. I've never seen or tried it before.
I thought you meant the white.
Looks gooey.
That is delightful.
Is that actually good?
It's got like a soft white outer layer, and then it's kind of like a grape in the middle. That's really tasty. It's like a really tasty grape, but with like a soft outer layer. That's how I describe it.
Nice. And I've got the aromatica tea with some rum in it, and I've described it as pretty good.
I'm going to try some of that as well.
It is really nice. I think it's got some lemon in there. Nice.
Yeah, that is very aromatic.
Yeah, and because Bogota is cold, this is why they make this drink. It's really popular. I guess it's like mulled wine in England. Like, just walk around Bogota in the cold drinking hot tea with a shot in it.
It is similar actually.
Yeah.
So guys,
So we're on to the next exotic fruit now. It's called pitaya, or yellow dragon fruit as it looks. And we've got a sample for me and a sample for Craig. It's really nice. Yeah, it's lovely, refreshing. I really like it. I've never had dragon fruit, I don't think. But now I have. Pitaya.
So it's really refreshing.
It's lovely.
Kind of waiting for that melon taste, but it doesn't taste of melon. It's got the same texture as melon, but
yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah, very refreshing.
Also, moving around as quickly as we have been the last few days, it's hard to get your 5 a day in, so pretty happy for this tour. There's so much food and drink on this tour.
Yeah, so we need this, but it's amazing. We've come on this free tour, and obviously we give a tip at the end. Our guide has been amazing. He's awesome,
so
Hector. Yeah. But we've stopped at these different places, trying things, and been given these samples. We haven't paid for any of it.
No, I mean we did go and buy stuff and spend some money at their stalls, which is the idea. Yeah. But like, yeah, it's still lovely.
Yeah.
Espero que tú, donde quiera que te encuentres, espero que tú.
So we have come to the end of our awesome guided tour here in Bogota. I I can definitely recommend Hector from Beyond Colombia. He was an awesome tour guide. He was one of our favourite and most successful free walking tours that we've done. Of course, we all tipped him, loads at the end, hugged him. Awesome, highly recommend. But we're now back in Simon Bolivar Plaza, which is the main plaza. And Hector told me earlier, or told us earlier, that you've got the Congress building behind us, which is of course what you'd expect to see here in the main plaza. But interestingly, to the right, where you've got this huge cathedral, that does not belong to Colombia at all. It actually belongs to the Vatican. And like with all buildings around the world that belong to the Vatican, they don't just own the building, they own the land beneath it. So any minerals that are found down there, they belong to the Vatican, not to Colombia. So you can technically go to another country if you go in there. And interestingly, on top of the building, you've got two flags. One is the Colombian flag, of course, but the other one is the Vatican flag. And it's positioned strategically just slightly higher than the Colombian flag. So it's like a subtle yet strong message to say, this is the Vatican. But yeah, so it's been really interesting. We've absolutely loved Bogota. Short but sweet, wish we had longer. We'd love to go to the Salt Cathedral, which is like an hour and a half outside of the city, but today's a Tuesday. Everything closes early on a Monday and Tuesday in South America, and unfortunately that closes at 6 tonight. Normally it closes at 9, so we were gonna squeeze it in today, but we'll have to come back, eh? So yeah, we're gonna go back now and pack our bags because tomorrow we have got 2 flights to take to get us to a new country. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed the Colombia series because this is the last one in the series of Colombia, but don't worry, we are not leaving South America just yet. And if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you can see where we head off to next, and we will share the adventures here with you soon. Thanks for watching, bye!